Hello and welcome to my channel. I have an unboxing of Papercraft Society box number 18. This one is designed by Card Making Magic, and this is one of the older boxes. I think they're up to number 24 or 25, something like that. I don't subscribe. I just buy these when they go on sale, and I posted a ton of unboxing videos just recently because I noticed that there was an advertised price drop on Craft Stash, and I'm just basically always on the Craft Stash website. And so I noticed it, and even though I haven't crafted with the boxes that I had already purchased, I wanted to go ahead and post the unboxing videos just so that people knew that the price had dropped on them, because I ended up picking up 3 more boxes. 2 of them have come already, and one, because I ordered it as part of something with something else that was on pre-order, I don't think they've shipped that one out yet. So I've already gone ahead and just reorganized everything so that I could fit as much into the wallet as possible. But when you get your box, if you've never gotten one of these boxes, there will be some of the contents in this wallet and then some wrapped in tissue. So the couple of things that were in the tissue that don't fit into the wallet are these mini ink cubes, and I heard in Sam Calcott's unboxing of a video of a Papercraft Society box kit, a past one, that these are hybrid ink cubes. It doesn't say so anywhere else in the product description or otherwise, and so I don't know for sure. I'm just passing on what I heard in her video, and I think she's on their design team, so she would probably know. So these are really nice colors that I don't already have, and this is a really, well, it looks to be a very kind of lime green color, and then an olive green, and then a really nice purple. And I know a lot of times the ink doesn't necessarily match the packaging on the outside, but these tend to actually be pretty darn close. So there's that, and then we get what looks like a lot of organza ribbon in this really nice cream color. So that's really nice, and I'm loving the design of this. So these wallets are really cool. They're always custom printed to match the theme of the box kit. And they, obviously match and coordinate with the box itself, which is one thing that I really definitely appreciate about the Papercraft Society boxes. They definitely take that extra step to customize everything. And so this straight away gives you a hint into what's going to be in the kit, because it's usually one of the pattern papers. So I am really looking forward to this one because that's a very pretty print. And then when you open it up, there are 3 pockets full of amazing stuff. So I managed to fit in the various other things that were wrapped in tissue into the wallet, and this is how I generally store everything that comes in the kit. Now, normally the kits don't have an embossing folder, and this is a nice one. This is not just the pattern, but the size of it's really nice too. It's a 5x7 embossing folder, and I'm really starting to like larger cards. I usually just make the US letter size cards 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but ever since I started crafting with the Crafter's Companion box kits, which always include card bases in 5x7 and 6x6, so I've started to really appreciate the larger card sizes, and so having larger embossing folders like this is really nice, because not only can you emboss a panel for your larger cards, but you can still use it for US letter or US A2 size cards as well. So that's really nice. And of course, with smaller embossing folders, you can emboss a larger panel too. It would just take kind of multiple passes, and you kind of have to line things up right and then avoid rolling over the edge so that you don't get a crease from the edge of the folder and all of that business. So I rather prefer having the larger embossing folder. And this is a really nice pattern, as I mentioned. So that is really cool. Then with the pattern, the various papers that we get, here straight off is the one that is printed onto the wallet, and it's a pretty close color too, which is really nice because that's a really nice shade of purple. Kind of reminds me of lavender. And these are A5 size, so not exactly, but close to half a sheet of US letter, so 8.5 by 5.5, but that's not exactly these dimensions. So these are single-sided, heavier than copy paper, but I wouldn't class it as a cardstock, and maybe a really lightweight cardstock, if that, 60-pound possibly. And then there's this nice stripe one, and I can see right away that lime green really matches with the ink. So everything is curated so well that, it all coordinates together. This is really pretty too. Oh, that's really nice. This is sort of like what's printed on the box itself. The box seems to have a merge of both this pattern and this floral pattern. So that's really nice. And then we have solid color cardstock, and I would say this is cardstock. I wouldn't make a card base out of it, but that's a personal preference because I generally like 100-pound or 120-pound cardstock for my card bases. But I would say this is maybe up there in the 80-pound range. And it does coordinate with the pattern papers that we get and the various ink cubes that we get too. So you can see there's, oh wow, that looks like it matches really well. At least the packaging anyways. I don't know about the actual ink, but there's the olive green, the purple, and this lime green. And then we have yellow because there's a little bit of yellow in this pattern paper. And this is probably a good example where we kind of see a little bit of all of the colors in the solid color cardstock. There's a little bit of that really light lime green. You've got the dark green, the purple, and the yellow. So really, really well coordinated, this set of papers and cardstock. The cardstock is white core, so you can do all of those fun techniques of distressing after embossing, which is really cool. So, or tearing so that you can expose that white core. That's always a really fun technique as well. Then we get the informational postcard, which is from Christina herself, and the quote reads, "When in doubt, add a flourish with pearls and ribbon." Very apt because she did include some ribbon for us. And, oh, interesting. So, a verse library. So, Card Making Magic is Christina Griffith's brand, and she does make some really great sentiment verse stamp sets. And she's got one for birthdays, and I use that all the time. So it's kind of nice that she has included this verse library, which you could, handwrite or possibly kind of type this out on your computer and then just print it straight onto your cardstock. So, or you could print it onto vellum and make like a little insert for the inside of your card. So really nice that she's included this. I always struggle to find, just the right thing to say on the inside of a card. So having really nice verses that are more than just, happy birthday or Merry Christmas is really nice. So that's really cool that she included that. And then the booklet always includes a little introduction from the designer and then tons and tons of ideas for the things that you can make with the contents of the kit. And what's really nice is it's not just photos of things that you can make. You actually do get, step-by-step instructions for actually how to make the project. If there's something in particular that you see that looks really cool and you want to make the same thing or something similar, then I'll take a look at the stamp set and dies. So let's see if these coordinate. So we have this nice floral frame here, and it, let's see, it does not have, I don't know that any of these, some of these look like they coordinate, but there isn't a die to cut out this large one, which is a shame. It would be nice to have, not that it looks like it's a terribly hard one to fussy cut, but I'm a terrible fussy cutter, so I always prefer dies. It would have been nice to have like an outline and then a aperture so that you could make a shaker really easily, or just make a nice topper element for your card. But lots of different ways to use it. Of course, you can stamp it just directly onto your card as well. But it does look like this stamp here has a die. And maybe that's the only one that actually has a die that you can cut it out with. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So it looks like what you can do here is, this is a really thin vase, and it's got some nice debossing details. So you can kind of see where the metal is raised. That's where it's going to push into your card more, and so it's going to leave an indentation or a deboss effect. And then there are, it looks like different kind of little floral elements like leaves and sprays and twigs and stuff like that, flowers. And so you can cut these out and maybe of different colored cardstock, or cut them out of white and then just color it in, because these look really, really delicate, so they'll fit into this really thin vase, it looks. And this looks like a, oh yeah, why am I not doing this? This looks like a bow here, which you can probably put to the front of your vase. And then, oh, here's another bow. So maybe they're meant to layer? I don't know. Maybe it's just different options. And then what is kind of cool is that it looks like we get some edge dies. So this looks like it kind of cuts out the scallop eyelet kind of design. And then on the bottom here, it looks like we get a couple of edging dies. So there's one that sort of does the, has all of the decorative bits cut out as well. The bottom edge does not cut though, so it kind of leaves all of that in your paper and just cuts away this sort of outer edge. But then it's got a second die that's just the outer edge. So if you wanted to maybe back this panel with another color, then you could do that. And then anywhere that the design has cut away paper, the backing piece would show through. So that's a really nice option, and pretty cool to get some edger dies like that. And let's see, it's not that wide though. It's maybe, hopefully it's suitable for a USA 2 size. Yeah, it is. So the outer one is about 4 1/4, and the inner one is just under 4 inches. So perfect kind of mats and layers there. So that's really nice. You can kind of cut a border into your USA 2 size paper. And then we get here a decorative, kind of a decorative topper piece or frame. And that's really nice. It's the same thing. It's sort of got the same little eyelet sort of design, this circular pattern here. There's a little bit of that repeating here as well. And similar to this, you get one piece with all of the decorative bits cut out, and then you have the shadow layer as well. So that's really cool. And the inside of this is, it's oval, but it's not cut on the inside. So when you cut with this, the inner die here, it's going to be solid in the center here. But I imagine that these ovals here will nest into here. So if you did want to cut an aperture into this piece, you could do that, or you could use these ovals here to mat and layer and kind of build up that center portion, and either stamp or use a die cut word. So here we even get the word, I'm guessing it's hello. And so that's nice that we have different options to have the backing plate or not, to cut in an aperture or not, and then, just having some basic shape dies is always useful. So it's really nice to have. And then I think the last thing that I see are some flower petals. It looks like it's the same shape, but one is larger than the other, so might be a good opportunity for 3D flower forming. So I think that's probably what I'll do with those dies to start. And then you get, I think this would be the center of the flower. So really, really cute set. And I, off the top of my head, don't have a project or an occasion in mind for this set. But I think it's going to be really fun. It's got a lot of springtime elements to it, and the stamp set even has some Easter sentiments and Easter eggs too. So maybe that's next Easter. This is the card kit that I'll use to make some cards with. When I do use this kit, I'll be sure to link to whatever it is I end up making at the end of this video, so you can check that out. Until then, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Thanks. Bye.